What has it been like just getting back in the swing of things where it's not just in general? I mean, you're playing really well right now.
I mean, I just say a huge thing was just working with the coaches. I dropped a lot of weight, probably about 15, 20 pounds within the last few weeks. So
Really?
my body just feels great right now, just getting used to this light weight.
How do you lose that kind of weight in a short span?
I mean, really, just because the injuries and everything that I've had time to just cool off a little bit with being physical and everything, just focusing on just getting into shape, just sprinting more and more at practice, getting my GPS numbers up. That's really what I've been focusing on.
So it hasn't necessarily been a loss of muscle, or if it has been a little bit, that it's actually worked out?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah.
Been talking with Coach DeRuiter about this throughout the course of the season. A lot of it, we're not out there for it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But you guys were struggling with 12 personnel and 13 personnel when you and KT and Adrian and Spencer were out. What was it about last week where across the board, but you and KT in particular, and Ajax and Spencer, but the edges, it was such a difference, and that the success at by 12 from Washington was so much lower than it had been for even Colorado before?
I'd say a lot of it was just game plan off of DeRuiter and just the whole scheme that we had going into last week, as well as just the edge that everybody on defense had, as well as offense. Just it's Washington. It's the team up north that we always pride ourselves on being more physical than them, and that's just the edge that we had coming into that game. Plus it was a game that we had a healthy defense, somewhat of a healthy defense, especially up front. So that really helped out a lot.
About as polar opposite, almost as polar opposite as it gets going to this week.
Yeah.
Talk about from your role, where they do have Borgie and McIntosh, but at the same time, they're not a team who's going to run them 35 times. They're going to throw a lot, so you have to do your job protecting against the run. But there's also a whole lot of edge rushing opportunity for you.
Exactly. I mean, Wazoo, everyone knows they like to throw the ball around a lot, more than most teams in the pack. So just this whole week is focusing, for me, I'm just focusing on coverage, just trying to get that coverage down, especially with the 5 receivers that they get out. They don't do a whole lot of 11 personnel with tight end where coach would put me in the box. Yeah. So that's just how we're just game planning right now.
When you are in there, you're going to have a chance, just as KT is, with Lucas, and I know you played him a little bit last year.
Yeah.
But he's widely regarded as the best tackle in this league, not on this team. So
definitely.
What do you think that individual matchup is like for you?
I mean, they have great tackles that we'll go against this week. We just got to go, do what we do on defense, physical, fast, relentless finish, and the whole front just got to work together, flush the quarterback out.
What is it about him specifically that makes him, when I say he's the best, you go,
quarterback or
no,
tackle?
Lucas. What makes him that good? Is he just playing bigger and stronger than everybody? Or?
I mean, I guess we'll have to see Saturday. I feel great.
From what you've seen on film,
definitely.
What is he showing on film?
From what he's shown on film, he looks like one of those guys that'll play on Sunday. Just his technique, everything's just so patient, and hands just look perfect. Not perfect, but they look good for the tackle that we go against. Everything that it's just the little details he gets right. And that's what I think just sticks out the most.
From your perspective, Mase, going against an experienced offensive line like Wazoo, where are there some areas where they're maybe stronger than an inexperienced group? Like, that sounds pretty obvious, but just from what you're seeing, where are they maybe exploitable as far as an offensive line?
I think just the only downfall would just be just one mistake. Just one mistake going against a defense like ours. We'll take it. So just give us one little mistake, we'll take it, and we'll get as much out of it as we can.
You guys dealt with so many injuries early, and I think both Coach DeRuiter and Crystal pointed to you guys seem like you're getting so much more consistency just playing with the same players and gelling together. Do you feel that? And
most definitely. Yeah, that happens all around the country. Getting later on to the season, everybody's just slowly more and more just there goes my brace. Slowly more and more just starts to come together as a group, and it shows. So I think it just happens all around the country.
What are examples, though, of when a group does gel or come together more like that because they are stacking games together? Are there ways that manifests itself that you can point to?
Just because you see little mistakes later on in the season, you don't see as many as the new mistakes as you do at the beginning of the season, just because of all the new installs and everything, and getting new personnel and all that, getting used to.
Gap fits and flow.
Yeah, exactly. It's just getting used to it, especially with the beginning of the season with all those injuries, throwing bodies around, just, yeah. I think that was the toughest part for us.
Was that taxing? Because you were also a person who dealt with some injuries, but was that taxing just to see, not just you go down, but it's like almost everybody in your room, it seems like, was in and out of the lineup there for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was tough for our outside linebacker group. You could see just numbers just going down week in and week out. But we're getting healthy again, and that's the biggest part, was just getting healthy on the edges, because the guys up front in the middle will stuff it. So just our edges had to do way better this upcoming week.
How valuable is it for you in particular in your role to have guys on the scout team when they're there, like Seven or like Trey or like Byron, when they've been on scout team? I know Seven's still there a lot. When you're playing a guy like Borgie, who catches the ball as much as he does, or a bigger guy like McIntosh, who will catch the ball on occasion. How valuable are those guys?
It's real valuable. That's a big upside of having those type of players on scout team. Those are players that you'll see next year up front in the ones or twos. Seven McGee, Trey Benson, Byron Cardwell, all of them, just giving us great looks, as well as just the whole scout, just everyone. Chach up front with the O-line, Kai Arneson, just too many names. Yeah.
With such a dominant showing against Washington, what were you able to take away about how the defense performed, and then maybe some things that you're looking to improve on as a group?
Just every rep, we got to treat it as a fourth quarter rep. As the last rep, just got to go give everything we got for that one rep. And after that rep, move on to the next one. Same thing. That's just, as a whole group, that's what we had to do, his mindset.
Take us into the room a little bit, Mase, with KT, and that, not just on the field, but I'm talking about meeting rooms, being around all these things where obviously you know the kind of success and the compensation he's getting off the field, all these attention, he's driving the nice car and all these things that come with it. It's part of it.
That's part of it, yeah.
It's all part of it. But it doesn't seem to, yes, he may treat himself, but he doesn't come off as arrogant, at least to us. But, this could all be a show for all I know.
Yeah.
He doesn't come off that way. There's NFL GMs who show up to games against UCLA, and he it's where it always seems to have a level head and a presence.
Well, you have to, yeah. I mean, it just comes natural to us, just trying to keep a level head, especially with his position being KT. Everyone knows KT. You got to be careful with what we do outside of football, because people's always watching us. I think that's just the biggest thing in his head. But I mean, going into the meeting room, you can tell KT is one of those top level dudes. He's always talking in meetings, always being interactive. Even though he's a veteran, he knows what he's doing. He's still, just being interactive with the coaches and the notes and everything that we do, which is a good show for the younger kids.